There's a reason why a lot of people after dealing with someone who's narcissistic will end up going to therapy, because they are just completely exhausted, and chances are they're probably trying to also figure out what just happened. What did I just go through? This type of relationship, and they start learning so much about unhealthy relationships, not just narcissistic ones. There are those people that are also dealing with so much backlash where this person is basically trying to create stories that make you look like the bad person. They want everyone to hate you. They want everyone to hear their side of the story and have sympathy for them because they want to feel like they're the victim. There are a lot of reasons why someone would do this, not just someone who's narcissistic, but people who are just a little unhealthy and have some defense mechanisms will do these things as well, where they want everyone to hate you, to despise you, to make you look like you're the bad person in this situation. Most narcissistic type of personalities, this is basically just a manipulative tactic. It could also be a defense mechanism to kind of cover up what they actually did in the relationship, which most often than not, that is the case. Most people don't like to sit in what they actually did throughout the course of a relationship. They don't want to take the blame. They don't want to self-reflect. They don't want to say, you know what, I actually didn't do a really good job of this, or I did this wrong. They would just rather create a story to deflect so they don't have to feel any guilt or shame. Now, either way, no matter what the reasonings are or why this is happening, I know it's incredibly frustrating. It's also really exhausting to have to look at a person and realize that you don't even know this person. The fact that they're even capable of creating stories that you know are not true is a hard thing to have to go through. What I don't want you to do is I don't want you to take this personally. And I know that's really hard to do for a lot of people because it does feel like a personal attack. Now, I want to first talk to the person that actually struggles with low self-esteem, the person who, if someone tells them that they're the problem, that they automatically believe them. Unfortunately, you are the most susceptible to now having lower self-esteem, because if everyone does think that you are the problem, if everyone actually believes these stories, that's going to chip away at also how you view yourself. Having a little bit of self-doubt to think, well, wait a minute, maybe I actually am the problem. Maybe I did do something wrong here. And you're not fully connected to yourself, your story, and your truth. You are just as bad as the entire audience. You are taking the bait, you are believing the stories, and that's not what we're here to do. We're not here to be gaslit. We're not here to be manipulated. We're here to actually learn how to take the best care of ourselves. And this person, unfortunately, what they're doing to you is trying to help you in not the nicest way possible to learn how to stand up for yourself, to learn how to love yourself, to learn how to believe in yourself. Someone can like destroy you in this way, destroy your image, destroy how you feel about yourself. This makes you incredibly vulnerable because now you're at the mercy of what other people think of you. That means that if someone doesn't think of you or look at you in a certain way, that's going to affect how you view yourself. That's a huge problem. That means that you are reliant on other people looking at you in a certain way in order for you to feel good about yourself. That's not how this is supposed to go. You have to understand that some people's egos are so incredibly fragile that by torturing other people or by creating a story that is just false helps them. You now become their emotional punching bag, and in some levels, they feel dominant over you. They're controlling you because they're dictating how you feel about yourself. Your pain means that they're controlling you, and they actually like the way that makes them feel. They're not concerned with how you feel and that you're actually suffering. This isn't about that. This is just about the fact that they can control you. They have control over how you feel in every single moment, whether you're happy, whether you're sad, which is basically narcissistic supply. So narcissistic supply, when we learn about this, we typically just think like, okay, I'm gonna make this person feel good, so I'm a good source of narcissistic supply. Well, you could also be a good source of narcissistic supply and feel like crap, and they can have control over you, meaning you could be having a perfectly lovely day and they can come in, say something or do something, and it dictates how you feel for the rest of the day, meaning they've completely ruined your day. Guess what? You're still a good source of narcissistic supply. They don't care about the fact that you're in pain because they have absolutely no empathy. They just care that they have control. A lot of people think that they just enjoy watching you suffer, and that's not really the case. I mean, I guess in a really sick way, they kind of do, but this isn't really about your pain. This is just about the influence that they have over you. Anyone who is not healthy or narcissistic or whatever that looks like and behaves in this way, where they're spreading rumors, where they want people to look at you in a negative way, they want you to be the problem so they look like they're the hero or they're the victim. These are people that are just out for revenge. Seeking revenge because of something that you weren't able to give them or you were no longer giving them. This is their way of kind of getting back at you for doing or not doing something. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, Steph, if narcissistic supply is either me thinking they're amazing or me just, feeling upset because of what they did, then what difference does it make? Why do they want to seek revenge? Well, here's the thing. If you gave narcissistic supply that was good, meaning you didn't hold them accountable, you did everything right, you are a god, right? That's how you view this person. And all of a sudden you just stop viewing them in that way. They still need to get supply from you. So here we go. Now I'm going to seek revenge. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to cause you some amount of pain because I need to get still supply from you, and now it's going to be drama. Now it's going to be negative. A lot of the tantrum that's being played is because they have suffered. They're suffering in some way because you're not giving them what it is that they once gave them, or that they actually did something wrong and they don't want to own that. So them hurting you is just their way of wanting you to suffer because now they're suffering. That's why it's so important to not take things personally. Whatever they're doing and saying is just what they always have done, which is to try to convey a story to prove that they're actually the victim. I mean, this is just like manipulation 101. So you cannot take any of this personally. This isn't about you. This is just about how much can they sway people to be on their side. I know what you're thinking. Okay, Steph, don't take it personally. Don't do this. But like, what do I actually do about this situation? I'm going to tell you what to do. First off, you absolutely have to maintain composure. It sounds really simple, but I'm telling you, most people cannot do this. Become reactive. They start yelling. They start screaming. They start getting really ticked off because of what this person is saying and doing. Really just fighting against what's actually happening. You have to understand that your emotional reaction is only going to make things worse. I want you to maintain your dignity. You are not going to act out of character whatsoever. And the reason why is because you don't become a different person just because someone says something that you don't like. That is not a person who is strong and healthy and confident in themselves. Because guess what? Not every person is going to say exactly what you want them to say. Not every person is going to like you. Not every person is going to believe your side of the story. And none of those things really actually matter. I do want you to also understand, what is their motivation for doing what they're doing? Is it a defense mechanism because they did something wrong during the course of that relationship and they don't want to sit in how that's making them feel? And so this is the route that they're taking. Are they narcissistic? And at some point you looked at them in a certain way and now you just are not, and they still need to get supply from you. So they're going to pick at you and try to trigger you in some way to get some kind of reaction from you. What I need you to do is just remove the emotion from the situation so you can actually see why this person is doing what they're doing. When you can do this, and you can do this well, you will stop reacting. We're trying to get like calm energy here. We're trying to just be our authentic self. We're not trying to be erratic. We're not trying to be out of character. We're also not trying to take everything personally that this person is doing, because basically what they're doing is just throwing a tantrum. Now, a side note, if you are dealing with someone and there is a legal situation happening or some kind of court situation, it is so incredibly important to document. Document where you see the threats, where you see the manipulation, where you see all of those unhealthy things that are going down between the two of you that you can then show as evidence. Now, here's the next thing that I want you to do, and I know you all are waiting for me to say this. You can tell your side of the story. But what I need you to do is I need you to say this with confidence. I need you to say this calmly, and I want you to say this not needing anyone to agree with you. You are just stating facts. You can even go as far to even educate people on what manipulation actually looks like, what narcissistic abuse really entails. But remember, be very careful with that part, because we don't want any emotion. We don't want any anger. We don't want any resentment. We don't want any of that to come up. This is very factual. This is very black and white. The last thing that I want you to do is I want you to begin working through your ego. This is not about fairness. This is not about everyone liking you and agreeing with you. This is actually just a strategic game. This game means that you are learning how to hold on to yourself, and you are learning how to give yourself validation and not needing that validation from outside of you. My heart goes out to you if you are dealing with this. This is definitely not an easy thing to go through, and there's a lot of things that you have to work through. Just staying calm and being composed is something in and of itself. Working through your ego is something in and of itself. Not reacting is something in and of itself. We can understand the logic about a person, why they're doing what they're doing, but it's hard sometimes for a lot of people just to not take it personally. And it's something that you really have to work through time and time again. So if you are going through this, I challenge you to look at the situation as practice and an opportunity for you to really learn how to hold on yourself, be assertive, be calm, be confident, state your facts, and really give yourself the validation that you need and not need it from anyone else. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. Go follow me on social. Everything is linked down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care, guys.